Before we start the podcast, I'd just like to mention that this podcast is sponsored by Nobody. I was thrilled when Nobody reached out to us to sponsor the podcast because I fully endorse and love Nobody. Anyway, so thanks to Nobody. Oh, we should start the show off with a bit of incense, huh? Okay, today's incense is Mogra, Indian jasmine. We better spark up.
Oh yes, the ritualistic flip of the lighter before lighting incense.
Okay, welcome to the Quantumplations podcast, where we are analysing and talking about each Inept album in order. This episode, episode 2, is about the Olympians, the second album.
So, I think this album definitely has taken a step forward.
Yeah.
Just the constructs of rhythm, the way that you time things is already improved. The way that you use different sounds, you incorporate different noises all together in this album, and it's a nice step forward for the inept.
Yeah, This is a period of time where I was like spending all of my time making these songs. Like, I would stay up all night on Adobe Premiere, like fidgeting with every tiny little aspect, trying to get it perfect, and I wasn't good enough to get it perfect, but.
So what you're saying is the first album was a compendium of rage and hate, and this one is more about your love and something you actually wanted to do, not just for the sake of expressing a venue for this time that you're going through, but...
This album is a lot more controlled and a lot more planned out. Like the last one, I would just an idea for a song would come to me, and in a fit of inspiration, I would create the whole thing in half an hour and then be done with it and not even think about it again in the first album. But the Olympians is, well, it's a concept album this time, so it's a lot more planned and put together. And, well, I've always been in love with the idea of a concept album.
Like an EP?
No, concept album as in like an album that the whole thing is meant to be about a concept.
I understand.
Yeah,
Would you say that most albums entirely have an idea of what their concept is? Is this kind of what you mean?
Yeah. Well, all albums have a musical
I would say that
concept, a musical thesis that they're trying to put forward.
Yeah.
But only some albums have like an actual thing that they're based on.
Like a thematic?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the better word I should have used.
Yeah, This was right after I came back from Japan, which was a life-changing experience for me. And I fell in love with Weezer's album Pinkerton, which is a concept album about the differences between American and Japanese culture.
Yeah.
And that was one inspiration for this album. Another one was a classical suite called The Planets by Gustav Holst, where each song is about one of the planets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they'll have, it's like Mars, bringer of war, Venus, such and such.
I'm your Venus.
Yeah, it's that song, yeah. And you can hear on this album that it's very dark, for the most part, and a lot of the dark instrumentation and vocals are influenced by Swans. This was the time when I was just getting into Swans, which is a very dark, sort of, I don't want to say reductive, but minimalist.
I'd say minimalistic is right for Swans.
Yeah, it's like a no-wave band where they basically were trying to pull music apart, which is what Noise is trying to do. Like, pull music apart and inspect every single aspect of it and ask why we do the things in music that we do.
The constructs of rhythm are there because I'd say it's almost habitual. Let's click to the first song then.
Yeah. The first song, Aphrodite.
Yeah.
This is probably the lightest song on the album.
I'd say it's a good introduction. It sort of moves across you and gets you nice and relaxed and sort of ushers in.
With this song, I was trying to make... Well, Aphrodite is the goddess of love and beauty and stuff, and with the music, with the guitar that I put in it, it's pretty much the exact same riff that I used in Just Once on the first album, but I just moved it up and changed like a couple of things around because I loved that interval, like that.
Yeah,
That,
no, I don't think
that
there's
group
anything
of
wrong with that.
notes.
I do this a lot. Like I'll pull rhythms around and make new songs in my head type thing, or just like parody over things like whatever.
Parody.
I guess so. Is that the word?
I was trying to create the feeling of seeing a beautiful person for the first time, and life kind of goes in slow-mo, and they flick their hair.
Honestly, it was like that, but I didn't know how to put it in words because that's where I was going with the Usher thing, but I didn't really know how to try to. Yeah.
The words that I'm speaking under it are, "I thought you were Aphrodite," and that's all that I say just over and over again, and it's sort of about how, especially as a teenager, I would have this reaction for seeing a beautiful girl, and then like think that they're Aphrodite, put them on a pedestal, think that they're a goddess, and then
Get disappointed.
Yeah, either get disappointed by them not living up to my impossibly high standards, or
Maybe they just didn't want it.
not even talk to them and just treat them as a distant goddess, a thing of worship, and not a real person.
Yeah, I think I have the attachment issues and do this as well. How many random princesses on the bus that I never spoke to?
Yeah. All right, we've devolved, so let's move on to the next song.
It's just me.
The next song is Apollo. So with this song, I was trying to... Apollo is the god of
rocket ships.
male beauty, poetry, love, and later on he was the god of the sun as well. And I was trying to get across the feeling of something moving you emotionally. And the words that I'm saying underneath are, "You killed him, O Phoebus, while still a baby, still leaping in the arms of your dear mother, and you entered the holy shrine and sat on the golden tripod, on your truthful throne, distributing prophecies from the gods to mortals." And the prophecies that it's being spoken about there is poetry.
Yeah. That's interesting.
What kind of impression did you get from this song?
It's kind of warm. Compared to the other album, I felt like there was a lot more condensed pressure, and this one is a lot more warmth, I guess, is the feeling that I'm getting. I definitely feel moved by this.
It is definitely is more dense. I layered on a lot more in this album and used a lot more like dense instrumentation and put stuff together. Yeah. Whereas the first album was...
This song is like a warm morning glow.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
A lot of the songs that you do, I don't know, they bring me to the morning. In this album, at least, the other one brought me to a nice morning mist, and this one brings me to warmth instead, like the sunlight on my window, waking up type thing.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great analysis. All right. The next song is Aries. What did you think of Aries?
So, if you had a silent film and you wanted to play some music over it that showed like one nefarious villain doing monstrosities, this is the kind of music you'd want.
Yeah. Aries is the god of like bloodthirst and war.
Yeah, you did it.
And the words I'm saying under it are, "Stay and mourn at the tomb of dead Chrysos, whom raging Ares destroyed one day, fighting in the foremost ranks." And that's from an ancient tombstone.
Yeah.
And this you can. I'm also saying stay in line.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well, if you're a big
you can
evil
hear
ruler, you'd
the
want that.
Swans' influence on the
Yeah, I
what
think
I'm
so
trying to
too.
do there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can also tell that I'm 16.
I think this song is very Swans. Probably, maybe the most Swans on the album.
Oh yeah. I was trying to express I was trying to create a comparison. Well, not really a comparison, but I was trying to express the feeling that school made me feel like I was being trained and controlled. Like,
Chained and...
yeah, like an ancient soldier being prepared for the front lines where I would be thrown. You know what I mean?
Do you know when cartoons do, like, super contrast? Where lots of shadows, tall figures,
Oh yeah,
blood, blinking lights.
like noir.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the type of feel I also get from
Okay,
this song.
it's a very dark song.
Yeah, it's like that. I feel like, honestly, a lot of this could be used very effectively in animation or a show for different purposes. And it suits personal calamity a lot of these, and this one would definitely be for a villain.
Yeah, I for a long time I tried to get a show written with the boys, and we
That one
mostly just fucked
It's
around.
interesting. The one that I know about at least.
Yeah, that's the one.
Some of the things you guys talked about a lot was really deep, and sometimes I'd have to leave the room because I'd get triggered.
Yeah, well, it was a show about literally
The things that I was dealing with at the
transporting yourself into the
Yeah.
subconscious.
time. Yeah.
And I was planning on using Inept as a
think that would've been very
soundtrack
effective.
for it. Yeah. I've long been told that Inept is way more like soundtrack music than actual listenable music.
I'm the kind of person that dissociates and likes soundtrack music, though. So
Yeah, me too. As you can see. The next song is Artemis, and
my favorite.
of course is your favorite. For so long, this was the song that all the boys knew Inept by, and whenever Inept was brought up, somebody was like, play Artemis, bro. And this song became my creep by Radiohead. You know? Like, I grew to hate it. I just saw every little flaw in it.
Weirdo.
Yeah.
I love acoustic covers of it.
What did you think about this song? You said it was your favorite, so
This was a really go get it song.
yeah,
This was like the most upbeat song on there, but also it was quite dark as well as Go Get It, which was a very interesting aspect.
yeah, this I understand why the boys like this song more than all the rest. It definitely sticks out on the album.
Yeah.
It's much louder than all the other songs.
Yeah. I'd also say that the timing in this is very well thought of, and it captures well.
Yeah, I managed to actually get it. And what I'm saying is, hunt the weak, take what you can get. Arrow of Artemis, you bet. And I just made those up on the spot, and I was like, yeah, that sounds right. Sounds like Swan's lyrics.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and I remember.
The transition of how Leonard became a part of Swans.
I wish. The boys brought up Inept at a party once, and there were all these girls, and they played this song in front of them. I don't know if they were trying to help me or
Embarrass you?
humiliate me. Yeah. And one of the girls was like, "It sounds like somebody fucking a bass guitar."
Oh man.
And that's pretty apt. That's probably the most apt description I've heard of this song. Alright, the next song is Athena. So, what do you think of this song?
I thought this song's quite suspenseful. It does this way of winding up like tightly wound spring, and then sort of just sits there like, is it gonna pop? Is it gonna pop? Is it gonna pop? And then you just slowly release the pressure from the spring.
Right, yeah, I guess so. what I was trying to, because Athena is sort of the goddess of victory and battle strategy mostly, and
You're trying to make some dark thinking music.
I was. It sort of is like dark thinking music. It's like the Shadow Jeopardy theme. I was trying to get across the picture of like moving armies and like marching formations and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and like plans coming together.
Plans. I just love it when they come together.
Okay, the next song is Demeter. So in this song, this is also quite a famous song amongst the boys, where I took several samples from the bus. One of them is just the stop sound on the good old Adelaide Metro, and the other one is the engine on the bus for some reason was making this weird noise. It was like
That's hydraulics. Hydraulics.
Yeah, and I was like, no way, I'm not using this for a note. And so I recorded it on the bus, as you can hear from the.
That's the noise I was talking about, though. That
Yeah.
makes the bus siren sound like it continues to stop noise.
Yeah.
It's actually cool.
And this is the first time I used acoustic guitar on Inept.
Yeah.
Um,
Effective.
yeah. What kind of impression did you get from
I got the kind of impression that like this is actually a sick song.
it? You said it was trancey?
Yeah. I felt like I could just like go around in circles to this thing. Like you
Maybe because it's the same 4 chords over and over again.
No. Listen. So you know how on the bus, like on the double length buses, and you sit at the back and you see how the entire bus goes like that. I felt like this song does that.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the bus and they go. I felt that in this song, and that's the sort of trance it put me under. Like I was actually on the bus.
Yeah, I actually don't know why I associated Demeter with this bus track. I think
What's
because Demeter is the goddess of like the harvest and fertility. It just has nothing to do with buses. You'd think I'd associate Hermes with the bus because Hermes
you associated that because one day you just kept seeing like dynamite chicks on the bus and you're like, you know what? This will do. This is a good day. I'll do this just like that, and that's it.
I think I might have just like this might have been the last song that I made, and I just needed something for Demeter.
Yeah.
I was like, what am I gonna do for
Oh
Demeter?
no, this is for that person on the bus that you messed it up with, which said nice shirt.
Oh yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah, I was. Well, this was a few years ago. It's funny that you remember that. Like, I was on this very crowded bus.
It's only because I'm jealous. No girl on the bus has ever said nice shirt to me.
I was on this crowded bus, wearing a Kurt Cobain shirt, and this pretty girl came on, and she was like, because it was crowded, she was like squished up on me, and she was like, nice shirt, and I was like, thanks. And then that was it. I just sweat for the next like 20 minutes until she got off.
And by the end of the bus, she was thinking, "Oh man, that's a stinky shirt."
Yeah. But no, you have been complimented on your shirts.
Not on the bus.
Not on the
when
bus.
I'm wearing yours.
Yeah. When we went to the Cranker that one time that I let you borrow my shirt, and some dude was like, "Hey, my shirt, bro."
But he was a dude then, man. It doesn't count.
Yeah, and the lyrics that I am saying in the background on this one are, for the Greeks, Demeter was still a poppy goddess, bearing sheaves and poppies in both hands. It's just, literally, for the lyrics on this album, I went to the Wikipedia page for the god, and scrolled down until I saw the first, like, quote thing, and just fucking said that. And, like, that's what I did for, like, 90% of the songs.
Well, I'd also say this song also brings about a lot of joy. Like,
yeah, it's a very happy song.
Yeah,
It's like,
the nicest bus trip you could ever imagine.
yeah, it's like I'm going to see the love of my life.
It's not just a bus, it's the prettiest bus ride. And it's not just the prettiest bus ride, it's the prettiest bus ride on the way to see, as described, love of Leonard's life.
Alright, the next song is Dionysus. So what did this song sound like to you?
So, this is interesting. The way that it goes super fast, it reminds me of this sub-genre of many genres that's like a subgenre of nightcore where
Nightcore.
it's
Oh,
speedcore and it's like songs made out of the song itself. Only the song itself is like.
Yeah, that's
And then,
what.
like-
That's exactly what I did. I don't know what song I used, but
But
just.
it's only that and it's constructs of that. You had
Oh,
a
yeah.
different pace going on and it sort of brought it on nicely. And the way that you had it come in and go is like waving like sparkler around.
Yeah, what I'm saying in this song is.
I wish I could believe in Dionysus.
Yeah, I wish I could believe in myself. I wish I could lie to myself.
Oh.
Um,
Hey, I'm good at that.
and Dionysus is the god of wine and parties. Sorry about that, guys. My mom just had to show me a picture of a chameleon.
It wasn't a picture.
Okay, a video, very short video of a chameleon. Anyway, Dionysus is the god of wine and parties.
I actually knew a guy, he was Greek, and guess what his name was?
Dion?
Dionysus. Well, his name was Danny, but it's always Danny Canelopoulos, but it's like, my actual name is Dionysus Canelopoulos, the blah 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 blah.
Yeah, my godbrother's name is Dionysus. Usually just gets shortened to Dion.
He was Danny instead.
That's weird. I guess he didn't want to be
Dion.
Dion. I don't know. Dion's way cooler than Danny.
Yeah, but it's sort of a fuck. So like, Danny was better.
Oh, he didn't deserve Dion?
Yeah.
Anyway, so this was a time in my life where I was taking a lot of drugs. I was mainly shrooms, MDMA, and of course smoking weed all the time. And what I was trying to say with I wish I could believe in Dionysus is like, I wish I could escape reality and lie to myself about what I am and just live in this world of magic. You know what I mean? And that's sort of what the sparkler sound is meant to be, like this magic,
this fleeting sand.
Yeah, this something that goes by so quickly, but also is just always there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the next song is Hephaestus. Yeah, I was trying to get across the idea of hammering.
Well, I did get that idea across to the point that it annoyed me that it wasn't a drum.
Yeah, it was just me banging all three of my bass strings on completely open on like the highest volume.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. Like I had an obsession with just putting the bass up to full volume and just like rattling my
No
whole room.
wonder you got this. Sounds like you were getting the bass. See, I censored myself, but
But yeah, what I'm saying in this song is I have no mother, just over and over again. And the story behind that is that back in the ancient times, a lot of the time blacksmiths would be like deformed or ill because of the fumes and
therefore disowned.
yeah, and the dangerous workplace that they're in.
Yeah.
And Hephaestus he had clubfoot,
Yeah.
and he was like super ugly, and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the other gods hated him,
Yeah.
and Hera like disowned him, as he said, and as revenge, he made Hera this like golden throne, and she sat down in it, and she couldn't get up from the throne.
Ever.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how that ended, but everyone was pleading with him like, please, let your mother go from the throne, and he said,
I have no mother.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this song is you can hear the Swans' influence on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very dark and quite minimalist.
Well, that explains that.
It's quite an evil feeling emanating from this song.
Yeah.
All right, the next song is Hera.
The
No, that's me.
wonderful.
Just slow down.
Yeah.
It's
and
me
then-
being like, Hera!
Okay.
Yeah, that's... So what did this song sound like to you?
It's like big horned beast in some car and is like, I like this song. And he's like, and turns it up. It's like,
Yeah.
and then when that other song comes in, because it's like the same as the other one and it's got like that same noise. It's like a rivaling car or something. They're just like spinning down the highway. I swear.
Well, this is definitely the zaniest song on the album, and I don't know what I was trying to get across except for Hera's rage, like constant rage. Like I don't know what was going through my mind when I made this.
It was pretty great.
This is drug-fueled trip of a song. All right, the next song is Hermes. You like Hermes?
Yeah.
What did you get from it? What kind of images or thoughts did you? Or feelings? It's the one we were just listening to. The world is made of language.
Yeah, well, that one was nice. When I first listened to that, it felt like the song itself was implying that there was something else hidden in the song. That's sort of what it...
Mysterious.
Yeah, like, the world is made of language, but was that really meaning what it said? Was there something else to extrapolate? And so it's like, I was listening way more carefully, and the way that you stack the words, there reaches a point where it breaks apart, and the song sort of like, it sounds like it's not made of language, or at least an English understandable language, or if it is, it's not what it originally was, and it's like a dissected words every now and then, and it's interesting.
Oh yeah. This song is less about Hermes, the Greek god, and more about Hermes Trismegistus, who is a pseudo-historical figure who is thought to have founded the Hermetic tradition, which is it's like a mystery cult pretty much, and so Hermes Trismegistus was like.
Do you know why they're mystery cults, right? So they can protect themselves from themselves.
Yeah. Mystery is just like the word occult means hidden, and the word mystery also means hidden. Like,
mystery.
Yeah, it's
the Sahara Desert.
Yeah, and yeah, so a lot of ancient Greek theological and religious works are attributed to him.
Yeah, it's actually quite interesting. Could you say? Would you say that he there's a chance that like this pseudo figure was the actual figure in a way, or at least represented?
Well, there must have been somebody who wrote that stuff. Maybe not the same person, and maybe this. Well, Trismegistus means like thrice blessed, so blessed in three ways. It's not exactly pagan. It's a bit Christian, and it's like thrice blessed means like the Trinity, you know, Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
And the world is made of language is Terence McKenna, when he said that, wasn't really talking about the Hermetic tradition, but the way that the Hermetic tradition speaks of it is that in the Bible verse where it's in the beginning there was the Word.
Yeah.
Hermeticism treats the word and the labels and the symbols that we put on things as the way we construct reality.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I follow. Yeah.
And that's what this song is meant to be about.
That's very interesting. I like that a lot. Yeah.
And the next song is Poseidon.
To the language thing, though, I'd almost say to the point of this color could be a language to the right. Anything witnessing that as like language for anything could be receiving anything as a sign from the universe, I guess, is a way of the language.
Huh?
Oh, no.
You don't. No. Wait. What were you trying to say? So
language in a whole is a very interesting aspect as to. Like, that there is the language that this deck is well protected, that's the language that I'm gonna do with this, the language of this thing is that it will hold the liquid, the language of this desk is the fact that it holds all these things.
the purpose, language and purpose being the same thing.
Relative. Like, the way that patterns match. The way that patterns in people match. The way that patterns in a lexicon contribute to everything being to where it is.
Right. So the way you're trying to say the way that a language treats things dictates how people think about stuff, as in like linguistic relativity.
I'm saying that languages is essentially like the definition and purpose.
Right. So like the word contains the purpose.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a word is a signifier that I don't think it inherently
Extrapolation of data from things meaning language in this place, as in the sounds in this way means this to you, and information in other ways like writing or signs of extrapolation, like this person is a smoker. I'd consider that like an extrapolation of language. Like an
Yeah.
unspoken language, like a stereotype, is a form of language in a way, because you can look at someone and identify them because of this, because of that.
Mm.
I really hope it made a lot more sense there.
Yeah, like language is embedded in everything.
So we speak, and then you extrapolate from my speaking because
Yeah.
you understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. With that robust discussion out of the way, we're up to Poseidon. So what kind of feeling did you get from Poseidon?
I'm still scattered from my last train of thought, actually.
You said you couldn't really focus on any one thing.
Yeah, I couldn't make much sense out of that. I was trying to like listen to the lyrics and stuff, and I was just getting blibs and blabs that wasn't even what it actually was.
Mm.
Like someone trying to make sense of somebody like myself mumbling really fast.
Yeah, somehow I relate to that. What I'm actually saying in Poseidon is, it's like a prayer to him. I call to Poseidon, great god of the seas, fond husband of ocean-dwelling Amphitrite, son of ancient Cronus and wild-hearted Rhea. I beseech you this day to come forth and bear witness to my right and heed my warning. Your waters are being polluted, and the children of your realm are being persecuted near to extinction, especially those sea creatures that you hold dear to thine heart. In this, I beseech thee to hold aloft thine trident in rage, and strike down those who do your children harm, for the sake of their own benefits, for it is those sailors and fishermen who are the cause of the injustice inflicted upon your children. Dark-haired Poseidon, to you the waters of the world obey, those briny depths that brought us all into life. Poseidon, maker and master of horses, trident-bearer, earth-shaker, lord of the beasts of the deep, lord of the thrashing waves, sea god, show those who do your creatures harm no mercy. Hail to you, mighty Poseidon, lord of all the waters and oceans of Gaia. May all those who suffer, suffer no more, and find peace and serenity within your watery realm.
Good prayer.
Mm.
Greenpeace!
Yeah, exactly. This was a time of anger, great anger for me, and like, I was...
Disappointment in the human race?
Yeah, I was pretty much just discovering about how climate change,
I remember having a conversation with you around this time.
about how climate change is literally the most pressing matter in the history of the world, and where the governments of the world aren't doing anything about it because of money. You know what I
Do you
mean?
remember our conversation?
No, I don't.
Okay.
How did that conversation go?
Oh, we pretty much just... We said the same thing to each other.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I found this prayer, and I was like, oh, that's perfect, that's perfect. The song I wrote around it is sort of, I tried to go for a feeling of the deep ocean.
Yeah.
I tried to make it like the realm of sperm
It
whales
felt
and
like
giant
there was
squids.
1,000 voices.
Yeah, I layered myself over it like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, I think that might have been why it was hard for me to focus. What kind of effect were you trying to do by this?
I was trying to simulate the voices of the many people of the world would like.
Is exactly what it felt like, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
have you ever been to like the middle of a food court at like a shopping center and it's like you got all that chatter? It's
Yeah,
sort of
yeah,
what it felt
yeah.
like.
it's like meant to be the 99% beseeching Poseidon for help against the 1%.
Yeah.
Mm.
What do you do when the 99% needs help from the 1%?
Help against the 1%. Anyway, the next song is Zeus.
That was a really warm song. It was slow and melodic, and I quite liked it. The very, very first change in this song is the only bit I didn't like.
Yeah.
And other than that, it felt like a nice warm sunset looking over the beach.
I was trying to, with those static pulses, the first one was just one beat off, and it just is so like
it strikes just like,
what the hell? What was that? Yeah.
But the second one, the way it reverbs back around, it is like someone is just like strumming in a big like long circle. Like, yeah, I am the man.
I was. Those were meant to be lightning bolts, like Zeus's lightning bolts, that he was striking down like.
The only thing I would have done different is, you know how there's a like, what there is, well, there might be, well there technically is, because there'll be the energy that you don't see, and then it go, and then there'll be the bulb, that type of thing. But like, have like a hum beforehand, like for like the field, something like that.
Maybe. I mean, the whole rest of the song is a hum. I don't know how you'd be able to hear it, but
I mean, fair.
yeah, but I know what you mean. So what I was saying in the background was, Father Zeus, protector of the weak, help me to be strong against my fears. Father Zeus, protector of the wronged, help me to do right by all I meet. Father Zeus, protector of the home, help me to safeguard those within my walls. Father Zeus, help me to do what I must. Be with me as I walk in the world. So, it is a very warm song.
Yeah.
It's quite an optimistic sounding song.
Yeah.
It sort of sounds like that feeling of realizing something in the middle of the night and sort of slightly changing your view on the world. That's what it kind of sounds like to me.
Yeah, enlightenment.
Yeah, we can talk about the album as a whole. This
I'd say this last song definitely feels like the end of a long day.
Yeah, I know what
like
you mean.
It's a nice wind down.
Yeah, and I think you can tell that this album is a lot more planned because I carefully considered the first and last songs to sound like first and last songs.
Yeah.
But I literally just put the gods in alphabetical order. And then I said, alright, so Aphrodite has to sound like a first song and Zeus has to sound like a last song.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to finish with anyone, you want to finish with the All Father.
Yeah. We've discussed a lot how this song is different from the last one. And it's definitely, it's a strict upgrade. It's a strict progression.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I also like the way that you characteristics of this name song. It's more like a play than it is an album. Like every single different name has its characteristic, its quirk, its theme, its convey of point from its definition of origin.
Yeah, it's a concept album, so each song is meant to be one point in this 12 pillars. That's why it's called the Olympians, because these are commonly considered. It's not always these 12, but these are the ones that are considered most often the 12 Olympians.
Yeah.
Sometimes Demeter will be swapped out, sometimes Hephaestus will be swapped out, but you know, I wasn't gonna make a song about Hestia. Who the fuck is Hestia? Nobody knows something about Hestia.
Make a revenge album with all the offcasts.
Yeah, I'll make an album called Hades and Hestia.
Make a song called Cerberus.
Cerberus, yeah. Maybe I will.
Oh.
Who let the dogs out? So, what would you rate this album as a whole? We rated the last one. I don't know if this is going to be a common feature of, should we do the rating thing?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of something to compare it to. That's all.
Oh yeah, because the last album was like you go into your son's bedroom and find his diary, and you look at every single page, and it just says kill, kill, kill. Like every single page says kill, and you just keep flipping the pages. It's kill, 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 kill. You know what I mean?
Signs your son might have a problem.
Yeah. But
No, this is definitely great, and that's why I'm trying to think of words for it.
thank you.
Alright, this was 7 quartz pieces out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, after going to Greece and then listening to this song again, listening to this album again, I have like a new.
I'm sorry, I found a better rating system.
I've
This is 7 baklavas out of 10.
baklava.
Ah!
No, baklava. Baklava.
Baklava.
Anyway, yeah. Yeah, I definitely have a new perspective on each of these songs. Like each one makes me think about.
Having experienced the culture first.
Yeah, like I went to a temple of Apollo. Like I went to a temple of Artemis and saw all these things.
When you walked into those places, were you moved emotionally? What
Yes!
sort of feelings?
Oh my god! Like so, I have for years and years and years I've been a history buff, right?
Yeah.
And a language buff.
Yeah.
And
Lancon buff.
I've Lancon.
Language connectivity. I don't know.
Do you mean conlang?
Yes.
Okay.
It's applicable here.
It's
We'll go
alright.
with
It's
it.
fine. It's fine. Anyway,
We don't have to make you feel less stupid. Don't worry.
I had listened to countless hours and hours of lectures and videos and all that stuff about these places, and they sort of seem like fiction almost, like
A dream.
they feel not like a dream, but like a place from Game of Thrones. like
Yeah.
the Wall. Like I'm never gonna go to the Wall, but I can still imagine it as a place in my head.
Mm.
And I sort of imagined like the Acropolis and Knossos and the Oracle of Delphi as those kind of places, like
Yeah.
like a place from fiction where things happened and people were.
Did you feel like you were just visiting there, or did you feel like you were Leonard in the place that you had to be for that point for the gods?
I felt like I was on a holy pilgrimage to the lands of my ancestors.
Beautiful.
Like going to Knossos,
Yeah.
and seeing the pillars and the frescoes from the images. It was like, am I in a Google image search right now? Like, where am I? Like, did I
would have like been like, yo, give me some like half an hour. I just need to sit down and just like breathe, alright, guys.
It was fucking hot. So yeah, it was.
I just want to meditate in places, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was the best experience of my life.
I have like a similar association to the mountains of Norway, like it's somewhere out of fiction.
Yeah.
Like there's an icy serpent underneath the mountains, and like yeah, it's just. I believe the place will be absolutely breathtaking. I imagine the way the cold will hit me. I imagine the way it'll sting my eyes, and how I'll look at the mountain, and cry.
Yeah, like standing on Acropolis and saying Pericles was here, stood on the exact same spot as I'm standing, and going to the Oracle of Delphi and thinking Alexander the Great asked for insight here. That's pretty much the same thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
And going to Troy, like the Troy. Probably the Troy, but we shouldn't get into that. The Troy, like Agamemnon and Paris, like fought here, and Achilles, like it's surreal. Like I am.
Would you say that your batteries get like charged automatically? That
I'm in
like,
hypercharge
air,
mode.
it's like, oh yeah, something.
Yeah.
I just breathed in a little bit of a Festus.
I'm like. my skin is tingling with static excitement. Like I'm.
I've only been on like a proper holiday, I guess, like a getaway once, and like just getting out feels euphoric.
Mm,
And let alone going to some place that's significant culturally or spiritually. And
mm.
Good shit, man.
And I thought spending that time with my family was going to be grating, but it wasn't really.
It was more like a nice embrace.
It was like, I mean, the whole time I was thinking, man, I wish I was here with the boys.
Man, the boys are fun. It's so
But
funny.
it was beautiful. Like, I
Yeah.
bonded a lot with my family. And my dad said the funniest joke. He was like, where does a chicken keep its wallet? My pocket!
That's such a Lou joke.
That's the most Lou joke. Like,
That's the I can't even word. Why do words do that? They like come in and they go so far.
like every few days.
Quintessential. Lou
Yeah,
moment.
it is quintessential. Like every few days, I'll think of that joke and just burst out laughing to myself.
I'm like,
Ugh. All right. Is there any follow up from last week we should get to? I mean, we didn't get any comments, but we did get 33 views. 33 people watched our. Yeah.
that's some crisp high five action.
Yeah. 33 people.
Guys, we really appreciate any kind of feedback, any kind of anything.
Yeah.
Much appreciated. Thank you. Keep it up.
Yeah. So thanks for listening to all of this. If
If you did.
if you did, or if, I don't know why you would just skip to the end of a podcast.
You're just one of those sick son of a guns that like to get that thank you, isn't that right? I know you're listening.
So we'll be back next time to talk about my third album, or Nep's third album, Gauche. And yeah, thanks. Say bye.
See you, folks.
See ya.
That's all, folks. That's all, folks. That's all, folks.